might find it take me out. Some go right and some go wrong, but right now the road I'm on is the one about a girl in a song. I got rolled.
So we're coming to you live, our second episode ever, man. We are blessed to have the one, the only, and my good friend Ira Dean in the house, man. Just back from touring with Brooks and Dunn, opening for Morgan Wallen. Welcome back to Naples, Freedom Town, USA, baby.
Man, I can't take you serious with that hat on. I'm just telling you right now.
Can I change now?
Yeah, dude.
I brought my favorite hat.
Change hats.
Ricky, you can hold on to that one, buddy.
You know I love this hat, man. So this hat means so much to me right now. This is my Ira fucking Dean hat. This is my Ira freaking Dean hat. In case kids are watching.
You got him rattled.
How you doing?
I'm still thinking about the cat nipple boots.
Dude,
The cat nipple boots still got me, though.
It is.
You got me thrown on that. So look, all joking aside.
nice
man,
Chuck Taylors on Ira Dean, too,
Thanks.
by the way.
Thanks.
Nice.
Not made of cat nipple. These are genuine,
Saskatchewan
made in
skin.
China.
Nice.
genuine lawyer skin.
Those are
$4 an
nice.
hour to wear them.
I like Irish style, man. I like this guy right here. Now, is that AI or is that actually Ira Dean?
That was a picture from some concert. That's really me with my locks pulled back.
Look at that guy
Yeah.
wearing the Meta glasses.
Yeah.
Nikki Sixx
No,
there.
No, those aren't Meta.
Those aren't Meta. Those are Ray-Bans. I think I got these.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't mix it up too much.
I like when you do the Meta glasses, though. Meta glasses for guys are kind of gay, but I like the fact when you do that from a concert, I get to see the whole venue.
Well, I only do that for you because you wear those cat nipple boots.
Hey, man, so welcome to the show.
Thanks.
It may not last that long. This may be our last episode, but we're glad you're here. I want to give a shout out to your bodyguard, Jay Campbell, in the audience today, man. He's in dire need of a suntan, of a tanning bed or something. But other than that, he's looking good. He's flexing up his quad muscles for you. Jay, welcome to the show and our live studio audience. Thank you, ladies, for being here and gentlemen. So how long are you in town for this time, brother?
Till Thursday. I got to head back out, go back to Nashville, and then we go jump on the bus. We play somewhere. I don't know.
And
So-
today's Monday, by the way, because it's not a live show. So when people watch,
You got
kind
it.
of get an idea.
You got it.
What? It's not a live show?
It's not a live show.
Oh, no, we
Can't
could
go
do
live
that.
with Pat
Go
Dearborn.
live.
No.
The cat nipple thing wouldn't have passed the
Yeah.
muster
Why not?
test. Cat nipple boots would have made it, but maybe my bad
I didn't
language.
realize
wouldn't have
this was PG-12.
No, it's not, but it's just not
Okay.
live.
Okay.
Hey,
Go ahead.
So how about shout out last night? I saw you posting a couple things, man, and you're never one. I'm telling you, all joking aside, you're never one. I got to do all my own research. I liked you when I first met you. Didn't know you from a hole in the wall. I lied. I knew you from Trick Pony. I thought you were a badass, but I liked you, even though you were stone cold sober. You were still fun to hang out with. But I like how you just. I didn't know back in 2003, you won some big time country music awards. And I want you to tell me real quick about last night when Brooks and Dunn, what did they win last night?
They won Duo of the Year. for
Duo of the Year.
23rd time or something. I don't know how many times they won. I just made that number
Named
up.
the award after them at this point.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Should be the Brooks and Dunn Award.
But they're so good. And Pat, I got to go travel
Mhm.
and go see him play in Louisville, Kentucky with Jim Brewer and Sir Jay Campbell. And we had the best time partying with those guys. But they put on a hell of a show, man. Brooks and Dunn is a phenomenal act. They love having Ira Dean as their bass player. You guys are killing it. So other than opening for Morgan Wallen, who's some other big acts you guys are opening up for around the country, around the world?
Actually, we're usually the headliner.
Yeah, I know you
We're
are.
usually the headliner. So, I mean, we were out. The only time we've opened up this year or last year is with Morgan Wallen. I think we just did one with Post Malone, and that's it.
That's it.
Other than that, they open up for those guys. I mean,
So just so you know, I'll do the interviewing, man. So I was doing that to set you up to make sure you don't open up for nobody.
I don't
You're
open
Ira
up for
fucking Dean.
nobody.
You're Ira fucking
Should
Dean.
be his
Ira
manager.
Ira headline and Dean is what it is.
Should get Patrick Dearborn as your manager.
There you go.
Nah, that wouldn't be good for business.
No, those boys still, I mean, Ronnie and Kicks, I've known them. I was their opening act in 03
Wow.
when I won that award back in the day, 23 years ago. That's crazy. But yeah, they've been on their game for so dang long, and I'm just proud. It's awesome. We've been friends for a long
You
time,
wouldn't
and
be touring with them if you weren't friends. I mean, that's tough life right there on the road. And you guys get along great, man. I'm not kidding you. You're a great compliment to that band. But seeing them live with you and being really close to the stage was a really cool experience. I love going and partying back there, not with you and Brooks and Dunn, but the other guys in the band were pretty fun.
keep that quiet.
Well, this is not tape live. So we can edit this out later on. Ira fucking Dean hat though. So real quick, man, tell me about why are you in Naples, man? I thought you were the Nashville assassin. Why are you in Naples?
My question,
man,
Pat.
I'm sure you got more questions for the coat like that.
Yeah, how you doing?
Nice.
fill in sometimes. It's like Life Fest Club all over again.
You look at maitre d' at a restaurant, dude. Take it easy, man. Come on.
Try the soup.
Two for dinner.
What was the question again? Why am I here?
I got
Man,
down my maitre d'.
I married a Naples girl. I married.
Wow.
I got married 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, almost 3 now, I guess.
What is a Naples girl?
She was from Naples. She's from here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are Naples
Naples
girls
girl.
different than other girls?
No. Well, this one is because I married her. So she had her head on straight.
She
I was sober. I was single till I was 54, and I didn't really believe in marriage. I just didn't have a thing for it, and I was a wild man. And
No.
listen to this.
Wow, man.
There's sad music playing in the background.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. I was a lonely child. Dun, 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 dun. I swore I'd never get married.
You know where that came- that came
Tissues,
from?
tissues. We're
The
gonna
heavens,
get
Ricky.
Golly, all of a sudden I went to a soap opera.
Wah, wah, wah.
Holy hell. What was that about?
Second show ever, maybe the last one.
Where did you meet your wife?
Man, when she tells the story, it's a lot more romantic than when I tell the story.
What's your version of it?
My version is, okay, this is the true story. So
Okay.
there's a place in Nashville called the Bluebird, and it's for songwriters. And a good friend of mine, Chris Wallen, he wrote "Don't Blink" for Chesney, "Love Me If You Can" for Toby Keith, "Something to Be Proud of" for Montgomery. Anyways, he was the best man at my wedding, but he was supposed to play the Bluebird.
Okay.
And he called me up that night, and he's like, "Hey, man, you got a sub for me. You're gonna have to bleep this." Or he had a stomach virus. He was shitting in his pants, basically. And he said, "Man, you got a sub for me. You got to play for me." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Where are you playing?" And he said, "The Bluebird." And I said, "There's no way, dude. I hate playing the Bluebird. And Bluebird's a great place, but it's very quiet.
Okay.
It's very listen to the songs. And I want people to get rowdy.
Yeah.
And so I come from a different school. And so I was like, man, don't make me play the Bluebird. They take things way too serious. And he's like, I know, I need you to do it. So I said, anybody else, I'd say no. So I went and played Bluebird. And it just so happens my wife, Jennifer, had bought a charity auction item to go to Nashville to the Bluebird and all this stuff. And so she was sitting behind me. She didn't even see my face. And she was sitting behind me with her family.
Well, you look better from behind. I'm serious.
I back into a lot of relationships.
Your butt implants are phenomenal.
Thank
your
you.
hair looks good from behind. So,
It does.
You did.
It really
Being
does.
honest.
Man, thanks. You want to hook up later? What the hell is that all about?
I'll meet you at
So-
happy hour in Naples, 4:00.
So she took this picture of me with like the little logo of the Bluebird above my head, and she posted it. As a matter of fact, she didn't even remember my name, and then she asked her son. Her son told me the name, and blah blah blah. She posted it. She tagged me in it. I said, "Hey, this is a great photo. Can I use it?" And then we started chatting online. I looked her up, and said, "Man, what are you doing in town? Are you still in town? Let me buy you a glass of wine." I don't drink no more, but.
Mhm.
And that just kind of rolled over. And the following week, I was like, she came back to Naples. I was still in Nashville working. And I said, let's get together this weekend. She goes, I'm in Florida. I said, well, let's throw a dart at the map and pick a place in between. So we met up at, did the sad music start kicking in again? We met up in New Orleans. And we stayed in New Orleans for the weekend. And the rest is history. And that was 7 years ago.
Had you been to Naples prior to meeting your wife?
Probably. I don't remember.
Yeah,
though.
right,
I mean,
right.
it was a wild time back in
Sure,
the day.
sure.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I'm coming down here every time I'm off the road,
How
and then
often do you spend in Naples? Would you
I
say?
try to get down at least like 1 week a month.
Okay.
But now it's just so crazy being
Mhm.
on the road and writing and all that stuff. So we kind of just ping pong back and forth.
Yeah.
It seems to work.
Yeah.
At least it does for me. She might be miserable. I don't know, but she seems happy.
She's happy, man.
Yeah.
She loves you. dude.
What's your
She's a good
favorite thing
girl.
about Naples?
Man, just getting away. It's like slows down out here, and there's
Mhm.
good people, and the restaurants are great. And
Do you have any favorite restaurants? Particular favorites?
I don't even know what
Yeah,
the names are.
yeah, yeah.
I kind of just coast.
Sure.
I try to like walk on marshmallow house shoes. I just kind of like sponge my way through life. So I really don't pay attention a lot, but the food's great.
Mhm.
The scenery's great. People are great. I mean, yeah, it's all good.
Tell us about that. The Ira Dean, Jennifer Dean compound you're building here in Naples, Florida. Let's go. Baby.
Yeah, we are. We're building a little compound. It's got like a little guest house out front, big house in the back,
Shooting range.
bow range, armory. It's as long as that was my and a urinal. That's all I want in my house. I want a urinal so I don't pee on the floor when I'm sleeping. I want a place to put all the guns with a handprint door. and then yeah, and a place to shoot my rifles and my bows.
So I like to put people on the spots. I'm going to put you on the spot here. I don't know which realtor you use for that house, but if you had to use a realtor, Jay Campbell or Patrick Dearborn.
Oh, you're gonna make me choose between these two?
Between those two, yes.
Man, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't stupid.
Tell you
I
right
ain't
now,
gonna
it's
do
Jay
that.
Campbell all day long.
Well, there you go.
I would choose Jay Campbell. I'm being dead to the
me and hey man, me and Jay
Campbell.
Campbell have killed turkeys together. You know, once you hunt together, you got you know.
Speaking of
you're
that,
in.
Actually, you got
Speaking
3
of that-
realtors in here. You got Ricky Haas too. So
as soon as the maitre d's done talking, I have a question to ask. So yeah, when I want to get my soup and salad brought out to me, I'll give you a shout. Let the big boys talk.
Can we get
So-
some more water,
You
please?
talked about
Ricky, you know
Hey.
what we learned today? Any realtor jokes are off limits with Pat Dearborn.
By the way,
That's
can
twice
you
you
zoom in
proved
on my
that.
cat nipple boots.
That's it right there.
Hey, real
you want
quick,
some
though,
fresh Parmesan? Go ahead.
You took Jim Brewer turkey hunting, and that's a very famous story. It's been talked about on a lot of big shows. And you've been turkey hunting with Jay Campbell. I got a tough question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can only pick one guy to go turkey hunting with. Comedian Jim Brewer, who we love, Jimmy B, or Jay Campbell.
Man, what is this choosing between friends shit you're doing, man?
Tough
Are
job.
you insecure? Why you gotta like, man? I would probably.
I'll ask the questions.
I'll
Next question.
probably.
America,
Man,
land of the free.
that would, if I could take Jay and Jim, that would be great because we probably wouldn't get any turkeys in because laughing too hard. So
Who's the better turkey killer?
I would say Jay is.
Wow. Okay.
I would say Jay is because Brewer, we went with Michael Waddell, who's like the #1 turkey caller ever. And in Brewer's defense, he hasn't hunted enough, but we sat him in the perfect spot, and
He looks so fun.
Waddell brought the turkey like right to his barrel of his gun, and he pulled the trigger. So I can't really. I mean, I think Jim Brewer could be a great turkey slayer if he went enough, but he just hasn't gone enough. He went one time, and he picked up the turkey and cradled it like a baby. So once he gets past that, but man, Jay's a slayer.
Pat, can I-
Jay is a slayer.
Can I
Yes,
ask
sir.
a question?
Yes, sir. You
All
can.
right, thank you. I'm sure you've probably hunted with Ted Nugent, right?
I just got back from hunting with Nugent.
Any cool Ted Nugent hunting stories?
Man, I just got back. He just saved my butt because I had 10 days off to hunt. And I was going to go down here and kill a red stag. And I had it all planned out on my calendar. And then Ronnie Dunn called and said, we have a charity event right in the middle of it. And I was ticked off. And so I called Nugent. And Nugent said, man, just drive down here to Waco and I'll turn you on to a oryx. I've never seen an oryx. They're an African antelope, if you don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
I didn't either. And I was like, had to Google it. And apparently they taste so good that they were almost hunted into extinction. And so I was like, yeah, that sounds like a plan. And so I lined it all up, drove down to Waco, 11 hours. And he hooked me up in a great, he pretty much just said, here's the Jeep, here's the land, I'll show you everything. And he turned me onto an oryx, and I smacked that thing like day 2 or 3. It was great. But that, man, I can't really tell a lot of Nugent stories because, I mean, you have to experience it firsthand, man. You just have to be there because he's just on volume 11 at all times. He is a true, I mean, hunting fool. I mean, my inner child is Ted Nugent. Yeah.
Both you guys together. How cool was it? I still love that video, you and him. That music video was #1, I know, for a long time, country music video. But tell me how cool it was on the rooftop of his freaking truck, sun going down.
Well, first, let me correct you. It was #1 in all formats. It
Next
was
question.
Rock, pop, country, everything. We knocked Taylor Swift down a notch on that one.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'll do the stats and everything.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
next
You
question.
obviously you didn't do your
the show
homework.
research.
You didn't. You're too
Dude,
busy
my stats-
polishing.
He was too busy picking up lobster rolls.
polishing those
Maxwell
cat
can't afford
nipples.
AC.
Put the lotion in the basket.
Otherwise, it gets the hose again.
Uh-huh.
So how was that? How cool was it shooting that?
Man,
video?
that was okay. So yeah, we went to his house in Waco where I was hunting. That's the exact same place. And he had the zebra striped Bronco from the damn Yankees.
Yeah, high enough
And
video.
so he brought that out. First, we put a bunch of cameras on it, and he's like, "Let's go 4-wheeling." And then we went through and the trees were knocking the cameras off, and so that didn't work that well. And then he's like, "Let's climb up here on top of it." And he's at that time he was what, 75? He's turning 77 now, and you would not know, man. He still moves like he's 50. And so we climb up on top of it, and he's wearing these Crocs on top of this Bronco, and it's way up in the air. And I was like, please don't fall. Please don't fall. I don't want to be the guy that breaks Nugent's hip or something. And but man, he's still, I wish he hasn't smoked, he hasn't drank. He was just addicted to women. So that's why he's so young still, man. It's great.
So you and him together, that video is freaking awesome. I love that video.
Thanks.
So tell me about, let's go back to those that don't know. I told you, I'm not just saying I love I Got Roads, which is the name of the album, that song. Tell me, what's your favorite track on your last album that dropped, I Got Roads, and why?
Man, that's, Paul McCartney was asked what his favorite song was one time, and I watched him say that they're all his babies. You don't want to admit that one wears a helmet and needs glue. You want them to all to be great. So on that album, I think Missing How It Used to Be is probably my favorite because my mom passed about right before I wrote that song, and I was not supposed to write that day. And a buddy of mine, Dave Turnbull, who's a great writer, he called me up and he made me go to his house, and we started writing that song. And writing to me is like therapy. I can pay somebody $300 an hour and lay on their couch, or I can just start writing stuff down. And so we wrote that song, and then I dug through my phone messages. I still got all my messages from my mom, so I had to put that on there. So that's probably that one hits hard. I still don't listen to it all the way, especially the message thing. I posted the message on Mother's Day for my mom, but I think that's my favorite. But they're all like my babies. They're all real chapters of my life. I Got Roads, of course, with Gary Allen, and
Freaking song.
yeah, and he sang his butt off, and Nugent and Ronnie Dunn and Vince Gill, and
everybody on telly, man, was freaking crazy.
It was great, man.
So I got to tell you one thing, and I'm gonna let the maitre d' get back in this conversation. But it's funny, I forgot all about that. Now you said that story, and that's my favorite song. We were in that group text.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, me, you, Jim, a couple guys here in Naples, and you sent us that before it hit the next day. You said, check out the song. And I remember calling you, and I was crying on the phone. I called you, and you picked up my number. I said, dude, I just played in the car. And because my mom, my birth mom had just passed away, Jane Sawyer. And I told you that story, but that song hit so hard. It was so awesome, actually. And then you watch the video, you listen to the words, and you talk about, coming home, and then your mom, they're playing, I think you were Neil Diamond,
Mom had a crush on Neil Diamond.
Yeah, so did my mom. So that song hit so hard for a lot of people, not just me. But that was the first time I ever called a guy you and I are not close, but you're a friend of mine. I picked up the phone, you picked it up. I'm like, dude, that song is so awesome. I literally broke down crying on the phone. So I know you had that kind of impact. My other favorite moment, and Pat, you were there for that, so was Ricky, is when you came to right in the height of COVID, because Jim Brewer and you all didn't stop. Like, you guys went all in, and we're here a lot. And you came into the show with Alfie. I love when Jim Brewer does his Alfie impersonation. And you were a guest. You were the headliner for a couple of our Patriot Fests, but you were a guest on a show. We had to see the table, packed house. And that's when Am I the Only One was #1 in the world. And you sang that song acoustic on stage. And I got to sit right next to you, listen to it with a sea of people, 500,000 people. I see the table in a freaking grocery store. And that's probably my two favorite moments, playing your song for the first time, Missing How It Used to Be, and then having you sing Am I the Only One. And at the very end, you said, and I got the video still, it's one of my favorite videos, you said, Patrick's not the only one, right at the end. And that was just really cool. So I thank you for doing that, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and that's just who you are, dude. And when I first met you, like my dear friend next to you here, I know I bust his chops, but I love that both you guys have stared the demons in the eyes and beaten addiction, and are fighting addiction every day. And I love the fact that you all have that in common. My brother, as you know, fought those same demons and lost his life. So I look up to both you guys, anybody that can face that demon head on, all those demons, and keep them squashed or keep them behind you. Tell me what it's like real quick. And I've heard Pat's story, and I was with Pat the last couple of years as he was going through sobriety. Tell me, when did that start for you? I know you were trick pony and you were wild man. You were out of control. When did you get sober, if you don't mind me asking?
I could tell you the exact year. I could probably go back through my social media and find the exact time, because I can tell that 30-yard stare in my eyes from back in the day. But I went to rehab in 2005, and I this is why I don't keep a sober day. I always relapse on my sober dates in the past. I went to rehab in 2005. Before that, I'd make it a year, relapse on my sober day.
Mm.
Make it 2 years, relapse on my sober day. 05, I went to rehab. I relapsed in Germany on my sober day. My dad died in 07. I climbed into a big one for a while. And then I would say that was about 4 years of that. And then I sobered up. But I got to tell you, man, you being in sobriety, I had I call them like when you're in the shower and something you did stupid back when you were drugging and drinking comes to mind, and I'll go, I'm trying to shake that
PTSD.
out. And Jennifer will go, oh, you remember another thing? She'll hear me, and I'm like, yeah. So we played Vegas, and Jennifer flew out to Vegas. This is for one time I embraced the memory. It was, I got to share this because it's one of those things anybody who's gone through recovery and all this stuff. Playing Vegas, and me and Jennifer went to go see the Michael Jackson one thing. And it was great. It was awesome, the hologram and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we're walking back through where they used to have God dang, what's that hotel there? They used to have the ACMs there. And we're walking back through there, and she says, I got to pee. And I said, so do I. But if we hit these escalators, and up underneath the escalators, there's bathrooms where nobody hits. And she goes, how do you know that? And I said, because the ACMs were here. And I used to party at this bar right here really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my hangout. And so we go down the escalator, and I go in that bathroom. I get done. I'm washing my hands, and I look up, and I'm staring in the same mirror that back in the day I was like up for 4 days looking in that mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the guy I used to be in that mirror, and I took it in, and it all came to me, and I came out with tears in my eyes.
Wow.
And Jennifer's like, what's up? And I said, I used to be higher than high in that bathroom, and I'm not that guy no more.
That's amazing.
And I'm glad you met this guy
right
instead of that guy. And it all came back, and it was amazing. So yeah, when you get to look in that same, it wasn't a figure of speech of looking in the mirror. It was the exact same mirror where I would like hide out in that bathroom for a long time back in the day. So yeah, it was good.
Why do you think, did you have like an aha moment when you decided to stop?
Man, dude, I was at the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to stop. I had multiple aha moments.
Yeah. Why do you think you were able to finally kick it though?
The grace of God.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I
Yeah.
couldn't do it by myself. I tried to do it by myself many
Amen.
times. And for folks that don't think there's a God out there, I beg to differ, because he saved me.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't do it by myself. My dad, I shouldn't even get into this, but my dad committed suicide in 07. I found my dad. He took the gun out of his hand. And that's what got me spiraling out of control once again. And then I really hit rock bottom that time. I mean, I hit where you just wanted, I really wanted to check out.
Yeah.
Like cops coming to your house for wellness checks,
Yeah.
kind of guy. And so I think, I don't know, man. I just didn't want to be that guy no more.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to be that guy. And that's all it was. And I hit my knees and said, if you're really out there, because I doubted it after my dad went out the way he went. I really doubted if there was a God. And I yelled at him. If he was out there, he was going to hear me cuss. And I cussed him, and I screamed. And then I finally apologized. I said, if you're out there, I need your help. And that's what turned it. And it really did. I mean, I wish there was some magic pill you could take and say I'm sober now, but there's not. There's just, and I'm with a great group of guys that I talk to every morning at 9 o'clock. We Zoom meeting, and a bunch of sober buddies of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I'm on the road, we Zoom, and we played LA, and they're from all over the world, from Japan to LA to Australia to Ireland I mean, we're all over the world. And when I played LA, a bunch of them showed up just to make sure I was still straight, which is cool. So I've got a good support group, but at the end of the day, the man upstairs.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not going to lie to you, man. This is already going to be one of the greatest freaking podcast shows. Even if we only make it 3 episodes, this is going to be number one. Sorry, Lawrence Maxwell.
Do you think pain creates better music and songwriting?
Yeah. I don't think you have to be a drunk to write drinking songs. I don't
Mhm.
think you have to be heartbroken to write breakup songs. I don't think you have to be in the spot you're in to write those kind of songs. But I do think you've got to have the experience to draw from to write those songs. I mean, I still write drinking songs. Everybody's like, "How can you write drinking songs?" I was like, "Dude, I was a drunk.
Sure.
Who
You got
else would
plenty of
know this stuff
experience,
better
yeah.
than me?"
Yeah.
You know,
My
just because
catalog's full.
I don't do that now doesn't mean I can't tap from that. You know, and I've had my heart broke, and I've been a piece of crap,
Mhm.
and so you can draw from that. And I think pain and life, you can't fake life, man, and you can't fake pain. You got to draw from it, and I think it makes you stronger. And I thank God. This sounds weird. I'm blessed to have been an addict. I'm blessed to have been an
I
alcoholic.
agree.
I'm blessed to have been broken
Mhm.
because I would never be as close to God that I am now, and I wouldn't have the respect for life that I do now, and the respect for love, and I wouldn't know just how special it is to sit in a turkey blind with Jay and call a turkey, and that is a magic moment.
Sure.
And you take all those little things that people just walk by and go, "Okay, it's a turkey." Man, you take all that in 100 times deeper. And so when I write songs, it's that way too, I think. You know?
Take me through the songwriting process. Like you think of a song, you immediately have to sit down, and obviously with technology now, you have more at your disposal, having to scribble on a piece of paper. But being the talented songwriter you are, take me through that process.
I wish there was a process. It's kind of like saying, take me through how love works.
It just comes to you.
It's like, it's not, it's,
Went
there's a kind of a,
I guess what I'm asking, you don't lock yourself in a room and say, "I
Yeah.
gotta." You do.
yeah, I
You
do. Some days I do. Cause
Yeah.
I write for a company, and if I
Mhm.
don't write so many songs a year,
Mm-hmm.
they get mad.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, they don't get mad. They just probably won't give me
Send you a
checks.
check.
And so, there's a lot of ways it can happen. Somebody could say something because I think everybody has said something. I think everybody's got a hit song in them, or a hit novel, or a hit movie, or some idea that's amazing. I think we're all creative. I just think I'm I write them down, and a lot of people don't think they're going to remember them, and it kind of fades away into dust. So I write all these little things down, and a lot of them suck. And sometimes I like you read one, you go, "Man, that could be a great song." But somebody will say something, and I'll go, "That's a great title," or you know, "That's a great story." You
Mhm.
know, like you can't fake life. And Johnny Cash said one thing. I'll go back to this. He told me, when writing songs, you stick with the truth because people recognize the truth right away, even though it might have been years since they heard it.
Mm.
And so I try to stick with the truth because you can't beat real life. And so the days you try to get creative and try to write this little fictional story, I don't think you can beat the reality. So I just keep my ears open, and somebody will say something. And then I'll call a buddy of mine who I respect as another songwriter and say, "Man, I just heard something great, man. What'd you hear?" And we'll start talking about it on the phone, kind of like therapy.
Sure.
And it's like, "Man, I relate to that. I did this. Man, me too. I went through this, and man, we should get together and try to write this thing." And when you get in a room and they start telling their story, I start telling mine, and then it starts going down, and I'm playing guitar, kind of putting background music to kind of like what you heard when I started telling that sad story, and all of a sudden
The piano.
the piano started playing. And that's how it goes. I
Mm.
mean, or you just walk in a room some days and you don't have nothing, and
Right.
you just sit there
Writer's block.
and you sit there and go, "What's going on in your life?"
Mm-hmm.
This is going on. That sounds pretty cool. Let's try to write that.
Couple songs that you did not write that kind of stick out to you. Like, man, those are some well written lyrics.
Um, well, being on the road with Brooks and Dunn, every night that we get to do I Believe, I
Mhm.
sit there and go, "Why didn't I write that?" That song
Heartbreaking song.
knocks me out. The melody, the chord progression, the lyric, the way it's delivered by Ronnie Dunn. I think it's the perfect storm of everything being the best it can be.
Mm-hmm.
I Can't Make You Love Me by Bonnie Raitt. Incredible.
Mm.
That's one of my favorites. There's so many great songs.
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting me on the spot. There's a great song by Trace Atkins called "I'm Trying" that Chris Wallen, who was my best man, wrote. And I could say this now: Chris Wallen's the one who called my mother to have a wellness check on me back when I was at my rock bottom. And that's why we have a kindred spirit. He guy saved my life. I love him. He wrote "I'm Trying." Great song, amazing song. But there's so many great songs. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, Aerosmith.
Mm.
Well written. Great song. Wish I would have wrote it.
How about Ted Nugent's Stranglehold?
Stranglehold. Probably,
Well, that guitar riff,
probably the
that's-
best guitar riff ever
yeah,
written.
but the intro too.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah, the best guitar riff ever, man.
Ira, I want to go back to the Vegas story with you and Jen. You had that moment where you stared the old devil right in the man in the mirror, and you walked out and you got emotional with Jennifer. Is there a song in that potentially?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've talked about it to Dave Turnbull, and we're throwing some things around. And of course,
That
Chris,
sounds powerful, man.
yeah, man. It was, dude. It knocked me out. I'm not gonna lie. And in the past, those moments scare the hell out of me. I don't like those moments. And that moment, I embraced it. I grabbed it and pulled it in close, man. That's a good one. That's a great one.
You mentioned Johnny Cash, and when I first met you, one of the coolest things that I knew right away, because your Facebook thing had a picture of you and Johnny Cash on a couch, and I'm a huge Johnny Cash fan, as you know. And then to hear some stories about how tight you are with that family, and you were basically another son to Johnny and June and their son, and how tight you were. And then of course you and Jennifer had that amazing wedding. It was in People magazine down at the Cash place. Didn't you say at their place, or have the wedding at their place? In
Yeah, in Jamaica, in Cinnamon Hill, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Where
Tell someone maybe in this room that has not heard, give us a really good Johnny Cash story.
Let me think of one I can tell. Okay, this is kind of lengthy, but Johnny Cash had a great sense of
We
humor.
got time.
He had an awesome sense of humor, and
Jay's got a pedicure at 3:00, so we're
Okay.
a little bit on the clock.
So he had an awesome sense of humor, and he liked to make people kind of uncomfortable at times, and he loved to do that with me. And so I used to drive his Mercedes all the time, because at that time I had a Chevette with no floorboard in it, and it was just a piece of crap car. And he's like, "Son, take the Mercedes." And so I would take the Mercedes. He had a house up in Bon Aqua, Tennessee, and I'd take it up there and just relax. Well, when his mother died, sorry, his mom died. He wanted this Land Rover that was in the movie Animal Book or something. I don't know, but it was hand painted with all these monkeys and giraffes and stuff all over it.
Okay.
Jungle Book, the Jungle Story, whatever. This Land Cruiser was in that movie. And he didn't know if he was going to buy it. And when his mother died, she left to the dollar in this drawer what that Land Rover was going to cost. So he took it as a sign he had to buy that Land Rover. And it was god awful ugly when it was just from the Jungle Book. And so he calls me up and he's like, "Ira, I think I'm going to go on a walkabout. Do you have the Mercedes?" And I was like, yeah, I got the Mercedes. I'm going to leave you the Land Rover, and you take care of the Land Rover for a couple of days. All right. So he drives up there and gives me the keys to the Land Rover, and he goes off. And he comes back in a couple of days later, and I'm in there frying catfish or something. And he's like, "I'm going to take the Mercedes. You just take the Land Rover back to Hendersonville." I said, "All right." And then he proceeds to sit me down and tell me, "My mother passed and left me to $1 what that car cost. So if you scratch that paint, it's like scratching my flesh. That truck means so much to me." And he starts getting really deep with me. And I'm thinking, I don't want to drive this dang Land Rover now, man. I mean, I don't want to scratch it. And so he walks off, and I called John Carter's son. I said, "Hey man, you got to come up here and bring me another car. I'm not driving this Land Rover." He's like, "Why?" I said, "Your dad scared the hell out of me, And he's like, "What happened?" I said, "He started talking about if I scratch the car, it's like scratching his skin. And that's a gift from his mother from the other side. And I don't," he's like, "Oh, that's dad. That's just dad. He's really sentimental." And I was like, "No, I don't want to drive it." Because, "No, you got to drive it. I'm not going all the way out there and bringing another car." So it's time for me to drive back to Hendersonville. And I get in that car, and I'm like adjusting the mirror, and I'm nervous. I'm shaking. I'm like, "God dang, I don't want to make sure everything's good." I go to look in this rearview mirror, and it's gone. And I look in this rearview mirror, and it's gone. And I look down, and he had gone through 2 trees and clipped off the rearview mirrors, and he had them in the co-pilot seat with a note saying, "Gotcha." And I called him up, and I was like, "John," he goes, "You should have seen your face. I thought you were going to pee in your pants, son."
Oh, man.
And so, yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, "Man, you got me. You got me." He's driving on back, and he was laughing, God belly laughing. But he would call me there was a time back in the day, he'd call me at 3 a.m. They announced on a radio station that he had pneumonia and he wasn't doing well. And then I get a phone call from John and I was like, "What are you doing up? Tell me some dirty jokes." And I'd stay up and tell him dirty jokes on the phone. He'd go, "Oh, that's a good one. I need a pencil. I got to write that one down." He'd write them down. And I love that man. He's a good guy.
How accurate would you say Walk the Line was?
Man, I couldn't watch. Okay, so I just finally watched it. They flew me to New York for the premiere, and it was just too soon. I became like, John was like my second dad, man. And so when that started playing, I didn't know John back in those days.
Sure.
So, but it just I got teared up and left. And so Jennifer, I guess it had to be 2 or 3 years ago, says, "I want you to do something." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "We're going to watch Walk the Line tonight." Because I never watched it. And I was like, "I don't think we're going to do that." "No, you got to." So I watched it. I think they took some liberties. I think the one thing they captured is, and I'll agree 110%, you have never seen two people more in love than John and June. They were the kind that finished each other's sentences, always touching each other. Oh, that's why I wanted to get married at Cinnamon Hill, Jamaica, at their house, because that's where I thought, I saw true love exist there, man. It was beautiful.
Awesome.
I mean, my mom and dad got divorced when I was 5. They were great people, but they just could not get along. They're great on their own, but together it was miserable. But watching John and June, I'm sure, they had their ups and downs like any other relationship, but god dang, they were so much in love. It was awesome. So when June passed, we all knew that John wasn't going to be around much longer. Yeah.
Did you cry that day of the movie when you watched it?
Yeah. I mean, how can't you?
I teared up in that. That was
Since I got sober, I'll cry at a damn toilet paper commercial. I used to never cry.
I bet you're going to cry when you watch this podcast.
I probably will. I will when I see them cat nipple boots.
And Jay's cankles. Yeah.
And you got to get some sun on the.
They're all one size.
You look like them clear goldfish that you can see their heartbeat.
I always see you on a boat. What, do you not tan on the boat?
And by the way, he actually did leg day. He hasn't skipped leg day in 2 years either, man. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for Jay Campbell.
Just get a little.
Wearing his son's shorts, cargo shorts. That's cool. So what's next for you, man?
I think you should wear pantyhose when you wear shorts. Like a Hooters waitress. Just darken those up a little bit.
You all can't see the live audience, but Jay Campbell is here, and he's literally wearing boxer briefs and nothing else. Wow. So what's next for Ira Dean, man? So you're still touring with Brooks and Dunn. When are we going to see Ira Dean solo, man?
I've been doing solo dates. I've been doing a few here and there. It's just kind of hard with B&D touring, and now they just won, Duo of the Year, so I'm sure we'll kick it up a notch. And I've been kind of busy with those guys because there's been rumors about Brooks and Dunn cutting a new album. They haven't cut an album in probably 13 years. Yep. And so they've been talks of that. So me and Ronnie and written a lot of songs together, and then Kix came in. I've written one with Kix and Ron, but we've written a lot of great sones. So hopefully
will those land on that album?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's the goal. It would suck if none of them made it, wouldn't it?
It would.
We've written like 50 songs. If I go 0 for 50, I'm gonna quit and put on some pantyhose and work at Hooters with Jay.
We were on that boat one day, and you were telling us a story about writing a song, man. It's like you have to write hundreds before one even hits, and you've written some of the biggest songs, and for other people. Most of our audience and people in the studio don't even know the songs you've written for some of the biggest names in country music. You're a songwriter first, then you're a performer. I mean, you write songs.
It kind of fell into my lap. When I first moved to Nashville, I thought, I was the old school way was like you read an Eagles album, it says all songs performed and written by the Eagles. That's how I thought everybody did. I didn't know there was a job for songwriters, but I was writing songs hopefully for one day if I got a record deal. And but I went there and they said, "Man, we love your songs. You want to write for us?" And I was like, "Write for you?" I didn't know how that worked. And it's like, "Oh yeah, man, you write, and then we play them for the artists, and if they like them, they'll cut them." And so that started. I've been a staff writer for 27 years now.
And just throw out a couple of names, and that's not who you are. I got to drag this out of you, but some of the biggest names in country music. Who have you written songs for that were big hits?
Big hits: Gary Allen, Montgomery Gentry, Chris Young, Rascal Flatts, Jake Owen. Who else have I written that they've cut? Montgomery Gentry. Eddie did a solo record. I had 7 on that. Ronnie Dunn's cut some of my stuff. Who else?
Who would you like to most write a song for?
I would like to sit in a room with Paul McCartney one time and write.
Wow.
That Paul McCartney and Steven Tyler. Those are the 2 I want to write with. After that, I'm good.
Are you going to keep touring, man? I know you're building a house here in Naples. We're so pumped to have you here in Freedomtown, USA. You love the hunt. You love hanging out with Jennifer. Like, are you going to keep touring?
Always. Man, there's an old football player named Fred Bolitnikoff. He used to play for the Raiders. And
there's a ward named after him.
Yeah, there is. We had
knows football.
We had lunch in Vegas while I was there, and we were talking about like retiring one day or whatever, and he goes, I'm going to tell you what I tell my players. You just play till they cut you. And so that's it. He goes, in this business, you don't retire. They'll cut you. Yeah. You know? And so just play till they cut you. So I'm going to play till they cut me.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Where did Fred Bolitnikoff go to college, Pat?
Buddy, I'm gonna refer. Come on, Florida State.
Don't look at me like that.
Give me a tough one.
Give me a layup.
One of his big things is any player from the 90s on, you say their name in the history of the NFL, and he can tell you where they went to college, or you name a college player, he'll tell you where they played in the NFL. That's his one claim to fame, and he's a hell of a maitre d' too.
And
he's a hell of a maitre d'.
And that's about it. That's where it stops.
Why the hell even have that talent?
You got to be good at something, right? I guess.
I love you being honest about you're going to keep touring, having fun. And when I see your social media stuff, and I've been with you.
That's a great talent. I can't remember nothing. You know, I bought my house.
You're doing much better than
my house in Nashville. I had to have somebody draw me a map to it. I couldn't find it for 3 months. I can't even do that.
Let me tell you something. Pat Dearborn doesn't know the address here. He's been to pick up this at Jim's shop. How many times have you been there?
Why are you yelling at me for?
How many times have you been there, Pat?
I do. I don't know. It's my first time.
What do you mean his new place? Address. You've been there 30 times. I gave him an address, and
we have a guest in our house.
Okay, I apologize.
Right now, why are you yelling at me for?
But where did he go to college?
Exactly. So but again, I'm gonna get back to when your social media stuff, and a lot of our people that are gonna be watching this know you through social media, and they've seen you live perform with Brooks and Dunn, or with Aaron Lewis, or on your own, whatever. I love that stone cold sober, soberest guy in the room. And this is one of my best friends here, who's also stone cold sober all the time. He never makes it awkward when we go hang out. And not that I'm some big drunk, but I mean, he handles his stuff. Every time I'm out with him, I'm aware we're all drinking and Pat's not drinking. I've been out with you, with Jay. And it's amazing that Jay's never had a drink in his life. But you and Jay together, but what I'm getting at this is, you're still the funniest motherfucker in the car. You're the funniest guy on the boat. You're the funniest. And I see you with social media, and you got all the guys in the band cracking up. And most of those guys, some of them are pretty banged up like the old days like you were. You don't judge none of them. Do any of those guys come to you, or have you reached out to give somebody a hand saying, hey, dude, I'm here to help you out if you need help?
I won't say, not those guys, but I mean, there's musician-wise, my phone, I tell Jennifer I'm the designated ex-drunk of Nashville because my phone does ring. Okay. And I tell them, man, everybody knows me that my phone stays on. And I'm there to help. But I'm not gonna talk. I'm not one to preach. I had to find my way, yeah. But if you need help and if you want to talk it through and wonder, I'll get those 3 a.m. phone calls. I've had to have a phone call while I was here. I got here, Monday?
Yeah, Jay Campbell. I'm glad you took his call.
Yeah.
Jay needs some help sometimes. Do me a favor. Keep Jay out of trouble on Wednesday when we drive over to see Jim Brewer.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jim Brewer, man. One of the funniest podcast shows I've ever been a part of. We left the show with Steve and Pat and Ricky at Steve's place, Live Fest Club, and we went to Jim Brewer's with Grip Media. And he got you on the air with him. And you know how Jim is. And it was just hilarious telling the story about his wife and then Jim being such a wussy out there trying to hunt with you. Just again, getting around you guys. You, Jim Brewer, Jay Campbell. In my world, you and Jay and Jim are 3 of the funniest people. Jim's a comedian. He's supposed to be funny. I didn't realize how funny you were, man. You're always the funniest fucking dude. You make us laugh our asses off, as does that guy. So when I'm passed out in the back of the car with Adam Gary and you guys are having a ball driving home from, what we go see that night? That was Def Leppard and Poison or
Motley Crue.
and we're passed out. And I know you and Jay just cut it up the whole time back, but he's a pretty funny dude, isn't he?
Oh,
Jay Campbell.
he's the best.
He is the best.
He's the best.
He is the best. I guess one last question I have is, I want to see you perform live in Naples. And I've always had this vision of you and Jim Brewer just doing something together on stage. Because I know Jim toured with Metallica and he can still rock out some freaking hard rock songs. Is that just a pipe dream I have? Or is that something that could possibly happen for the right
anything
cause?
can happen. Anything can happen.
Okay.
Hell,
While I'm thinking about that, I want to thank you right now.
I'm up this early and I'm sober, so anything can happen.
How about Boots in the Sand? After the hurricane stuff, man, you and Jim Brewer came together.
Yeah.
Remember you and Jim met?
Yeah.
So Boots in the Sand, for those who don't remember, your wife, Ashley, a bunch of people came together to raise a bunch of money for those, especially in Fort Myers that got their asses kicked, lost their houses, lost everything. You guys came together and you were the guy behind the scenes getting the talent to come, getting Leonard Skinner to come, getting Ted Nugent to come. And you did it out of the goodness of your heart. I know y'all didn't get paid for that, and it was a big pain in the butt. You guys helped us raise, I think, over $1 million for those families in need, which was awesome. But then I think about how God works. You did that because you want to do the right thing. You didn't get no money for it. I know it stressed out Jennifer and you and all that a lot. And I'm not going to mention the names of the performers that wouldn't come because of politics or because Florida or whatever bullshit. I'm not going to say any names. But you made that happen. You got Leonard Skinner. You got Ted Nugent. You got some big names to come down. The guy from Florida Georgia Line.
Brian.
I mean, but you made that happen with your connections. And you put your reputation, you called in favors and make that happen. So thank you for doing that. But after seeing you and Jim on stage, and of course I've seen you and Ted, we got to get you and Jim Brewer together to do something, man. So I'm going to keep pushing that a little bit behind the scenes.
Go ahead.
For the right cause. And I want to do it here maybe somewhere local.
I have an idea where we could do that.
You do? Maybe hold 50 or 100 people?
Your restaurant?
A little bit more.
Your restaurant?
We'll have dinner there before.
He owns a Pizza Hut. He owns a Pizza Hut.
What about Live Fest? Any talks of you performing at Live Fest this
Man, the only people talk about me playing Live Fest is you two.
No, we're not the only two to say that, man. But,
no, I mean,
but hey,
it makes sense.
Hey, well, first of all, he got called out on stage.
Yeah,
got a huge ovation. That's not what you do. This guy is so anti-limelight. He actually hates it. He does. You're so chill. But I love that Steve brought you out there. For those that don't know, Live Fest last year, Ira got brought out on stage, and I'm hoping, and Steven, when you hear this, I hope your Live Fest club fails because we're not doing it anymore. But just being honest. I'll be honest here, okay? Me and my maitre d'. But all joking,
it's a truth tree.
All joking, it's a truth tree.
We're
It's
here.
a Joshua. It's actually a Joshua
We're close
tree.
enough to tell each other the truth.
I had 9 gummies before this episode aired.
They're starting to hit right now.
But Steve, no, they hit about 30 minutes ago. Steve, get Ira Dean on Live Fest 2026, man. Seriously, do not bring out Darius Rucker again for the 3rd time. Let's get Ira Dean a shot.
Yeah.
Don't be bashful. Don't be shy. Give Ira fucking Dean a try. Let's go. Next question, Pat Jira.
Love it. And we'll close out. How does Ira Dean want to be remembered?
Wow.
I just want to be remembered. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to leave my footprint. Not even a footprint, just a thumbprint behind, you know? Yeah. Man, I don't know how I want to be remembered, you know? Hopefully it won't be for a long time.
Yeah, you still have time to figure it out. Yeah.
I guarantee you people are going to remember the songs you wrote, and no one's going to forget that time in history, which we're still living it. It's a wild-ass time. And I'm not going to get off on a political tangent. But during COVID, and the world and America was really, really at odds, and you wrote that song, and you produced that song, am I the only one? I ask everybody, just like who wrote the song after 9/11?
Have you forgotten Daryl Worley?
Unbelievable.
Where were you
when the towers fell?
That was Alan Jackson.
Jackson. But my point is, I still remember those of us remember 9/11. Remember those songs. Remember those guys. You're going to be remembered for that song during COVID when they were tearing statues down, when they were burning flags down, when they were doing crazy stuff, whoever they are. And you stood up in an industry that gets frowned upon when you take a stand. You took a stand, and that song went to #1 worldwide. I know for a fact you're going to be remembered for songs like that, songs like Missing How It Used to Be, that made me cry and think about my birth mom. And there were thousands and thousands of people that hear that song and see that video. that remember their loved ones or that mom connection or that parent connection. So you're a songwriter, man, but you made people just reconnect with their lives, the shitty parts and the good parts, the parts that sting and the parts that make them warm and fuzzy. So I guarantee you, brother, you're going to be remembered for a long time for writing those words.
Thank you.
Guaranteed.
I hope so.
Guaranteed. Appreciate you being on the show, man.
No problem, brother.
You're awesome.
Thank you
No
for always
problem.
making
Thank you so
time
much.
for us.
Anytime.
Ira fucking Dean, next question, baby. Let's go. Check out his album, I Got Roads.
And how can they find you on social media?
Ira Dean. Just put it in there. You'll see me.
Semicolon, hashtag.
IraDean.com. Just put it. Google it. Just Google. It's like,
Chat GPT. Who is IFD?
yeah, just Google it. I'll show up, hopefully.
Thanks to our live studio audience being here too, man. And for Jay Campbell not wearing pants.
And Ricky Haas wearing tight jeans.